right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is May 24, 2018. This is the May session of the Special Magistrate for the City of Oviedo. I have several cases today. First case is a new case, CE 18-000596. The respondents in that case are Lewis and Soila Panora. The property involved is 262 North Central Avenue, Oviedo, Florida 32765. The charge by the city in this is a violation of the Land Development Code Section 3.4D, which is clearing, grading, and tree removal without first obtaining a permit. First, who's going to be presenting that, of course? Mr. Orioles? I see that the next case is an adjacent lot. Can we hear these two together?
I was going to request that. Not only was I going to request that, Your Honor, if I may approach the bench with a letter from the respondents who are here today.
Well, let me go ahead and read the second case first.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we're going to be considering two cases together today. The second case, Case B, the number is CE 18-000597. Again, the respondents are Lewis and Soila Panora. This involves 282 North Central Avenue in Oviedo. Again, the alleged violation is violation of Section 3.4 of the Land Development Code, clearing, grading, and tree removal without a permit. The parcel number on the first piece of property, the 262 North Central Avenue, is 10-21-531-506-000-0060, and the parcel number on the 282 North Central Avenue property is 10-21-531-506-0000-0070. First, who's going to be speaking to these today? All right, would you step forward, please, ma'am? And what is your name, ma'am?
My name is Denise Medeiros.
Denise, D-E-N-I-S-E?
Correct.
And spell the last name.
M-E-D-E-I-R-O-S.
Medeiros.
Yes.
All right. Would you both raise your right hand? Do you solemnly affirm the testimony you're about to give today shall be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. We'll hear first from Mr. Orioles, and then Ms. Madeira will hear from you.
Okay.
So you can have a seat if you want. All right, Mr. Orioles?
Yes, sir. I have 2 pages I'd like to present to Your Honor, if I may approach.
All right, yes.
These 2 pages, Your Honor, although they only address the 282 lot, they actually were meant to be for both lots. The respondent is requesting a extension of time in order for him to get with the contractor. There seems to have been a misunderstanding between the respondent and the contractor about the removal of all the contractor's equipment from the property. I don't know if Your Honor has seen the property, but
I drive by it daily.
That's
I'm going to receive this in evidence. All right, go ahead.
That's where all the equipment was laid down.
Yes, for the
widening
drainage
road.
pond and the
Yes, sir.
Improvements on Franklin.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And the Panoras allowed the contractor to use their property as a laydown area, and they believed that the contractor, when he was done, was going to clean the property. What he did, the contractor, when he was done, cleared and graded the property without the permission of the Panoras, and they need some time to legally get with the contractor and possibly an attorney and straighten the situation out among themselves before they come back to the city. The city has no objection to Your Honor granting an extension of time for them till the June meeting to get the situation straightened out.
All right, Ms. Madeira. Medeiros, I'm sorry. So you're in agreement to an extension of time until June?
That would be great.
All right. This will be rescheduled then, both case A and be until the special magistrate meeting in June. And what date is that, Ms. Briganio?
June 28th.
June 28th?
Yes, sir.
All right, so this will be continued until 10 a.m. on June 28th.
Great, thank you very much.
All right.
All right, and if we should resolve this prior to that, will I be able to communicate that?
I'm sorry?
If this should be
Pull the
resolved,
microphone down.
if
There
if
you
this
go.
is resolved before the meeting date, would we be able to just let the city know,
Well,
become aware of
you work
that?
through Mr. Oils, and he will tell you whether we need to come back on June 28th.
Okay. All right, thank you
Okay.
very much.
All right, thank you. All right, the next case on the agenda is case C on the agenda list. The case number is CE 18-000243. Respondent is Ruby M. Cash. The address says 430 Franklin Street. That's actually East Franklin, is it? .430 East Franklin Street, Oviedo 32765. Parcel number is 10-21-310-300-0690-0000. The claim by the city is that the respondent has violated several of the city's ordinances. Section 22-19, which prohibits open storage, and then Section 22.144, numerous subsections of that, which relate to public nuisances. In general, respondent is alleged to have allowed the accumulation of junk and debris on the property. Who's going to be speaking to this? Mr. Orioles? Anyone else here to speak
Yes,
to
sir.
this item today? All right, Mr. Orioles, raise your right hand, sir. You solemnly affirm that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. What do you have, Mr. Orioles?
In the case 18-000243, 430 East Franklin Street, the city alleges various codes. I will read them all if Your Honor prefers. I have 31 pages of evidence, if I may approach the bench to give to Your Honor.
Yes. All right. These 31 pages will be received as city's composite exhibit. All right.
The city alleges violations of Code 2219, 22144, C1, C4, C9, C10, C14A, C14C, C14F, C15, C18, C19, D3, D4, D5, and 22145.
Right.
The first document Your Honor will see is the property appraiser sheet that shows the property is owned by Ruby M. Cash, 430 Franklin. The next three documents are the alleged violations. We've known about this condition at this property for a while. It keeps being hidden and moved around. But on 4/5, we went out and did an inspection, and as Your Honor can see, the debris is right at the edge of the pavement, and in some cases it's even on the pavement. The first three pictures are just random pictures of what the front of the property looks like. I don't know why the pile of mulch is there, but it's there. It's just the man who stays at the property, who is the son of the woman who owns the property, who is deceased.
So Ruby Cash is deceased?
Yes, sir. Which has not made this case any easier for us. We can find no probate records, no records indicating that that her son has legally taken the property. However, he is living there and has lived there for quite some time.
Do we know his name?
Yes, sir. Eulie. E-U-L-I-E.
E-U-L-I.
Yes, sir.
Cash?
Cash. He's better known as Curtis. Everyone calls him Curtis.
Okay.
His given name is Eulie. On April 5th, we sent a notice of violation and asked that for only Code 2219, that the property be cleaned by April the 15th. The next document you see is a certified mail receipt. All the letters were returned. Ms. Berganio did her best. She tried to find different addresses and everything else to serve a letter. We could not. So on April the 17th, the next document Your Honor has is the notice of violation, second notice of violation, this time enumerating all of the public nuisance ordinances.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
I said enumerating all of the public nuisance ordinances.
Okay.
And asking for a correction by April the 27th. The next document you'll find is the affidavit of service. Per 162, we posted the property, we posted City Hall, and we sent it first class. The next pictures, Your Honor, will find, the next documents you'll find were taken on May the 1st, and it's just a series of pictures showing the condition of the property and how it has not changed at all. As a matter of fact, it got worse. You see the wood, I don't know, old fencing and things like that's been brought into the property.
Is there any sort of business being conducted on the property?
No, sir. The man is what's commonly referred to as a junk man. He'll cut up metal and bring it to a junkyard and sell it, but he stores it in the property. He has stored it on the adjacent property belonging to the church. We had to have the church basically evict him from that property, and that's what started the whole thing. He could no longer contain all of the stuff because he had it spread on both sides of the property. He could no longer contain it all. Once it got all of it on his property, it rose to level. It rose above his fence and his tarp and everything else, so we could see it. We filled out an affidavit of violation request for hearing. And again, we sent the certified mail, certified mail. You have the receipt there. And this time, the green card was signed by Eulie Cash as he accepted the letter. He received it, and I also hand delivered the notices to him. We spoke at length that morning. I told him about the hearing today, what was going to happen. I told him about the conduct of the hearing. I told him that I was going to have to take pictures and present the pictures to Your Honor, and that fines were definitely within the purview of Your Honor. This morning...
What did he say?
He said he'd be here. And he's also going to clean it up. I'll get it cleaned up and I'll be there.
Okay.
Now, this morning, you can see the pictures that I took this morning, various shots from various angles. There's been virtually no improvement to the property. If anything, it might even be a little worse. It's really hard to say. He's made very little attempt, and he was home at the time I took these pictures, and I tried to speak with him, and he wouldn't come to the door. So,
Is he an older gentleman?
no, sir. Well, age is relative. He's not as old as me, but I would say, just judging, I'd say he's probably in his 50s.
Okay. Anything else to present on this one?
No, sir.
I noticed that in your list of ordinances, you reference the special assessment ordinance 22-145. Is the city seeking today to have authority to clean this up itself if need be?
No, sir. Not now. Not at this point. I don't know if, given a mandate by Your Honor, if Mr. Cash will clean the property or not. We would rather have the normal mandate by Your Honor, giving a certain amount of time and to bring the property into compliance. That's one method we have of doing. There's also another method we researched, and which may have less resistance. So we just wanted to make Your Honor aware of that provision that was in there, and that the respondent was notified of that provision.
I think the city, I think as magistrate, I have the authority to give the city permission to enter upon the property.
Yes, sir.
And to collect pursuant to 22-145.
Yes, sir.
But I just wanted to know if that's something you wanted to do now.
We're not requesting it at this time, sir.
All right. All right, I am going to find today that the respondent, at least the property, is in violation of Section 22-19 of the Code of Ordinances, also in violation of 22-144, subsection C1, C4, C9, C10, C14A, C14C, C14F, C15, C18, C19, D3, D4, and D5. The city is not at this time requesting authority to abate the nuisance itself. I do find that the condition of this property constitutes a nuisance as defined in Section 22-144. Also find that it does constitute open storage that's prohibited by Section 22-19. I'm going to give the respondent until July 19, 2018 to bring the property into compliance with the ordinances that are presently being violated. Failing to do that, I will be inclined at a Massey hearing to impose a fine of $75 a day per each day of non-compliance. I'm giving the respondent more time than I typically would, because looking at this, it's going to take more time than it typically does. And by choosing the July 19 date, that's 1 week in advance of our July meeting. That way, if it's not in compliance, you'll have time to bring it back before the board. If that date doesn't work for you, though, let me know now, and I'll consider another date. Will that give you time to bring it back in July?
Yes, sir, it will.
Okay. You might go the extra mile in giving him notice, giving him a copy of my order. It may be you have to tack it to his door or something, but
Yes, sir.
I don't want him to come in here in July 26th saying, I never got the order.
I'll see to it that he gets it, sir.
Yeah. All right. $75 a day is probably less than I would normally fine someone for this degree of violation, but I am guessing he's a man of modest means. I'm going to try to give him every break until he tells me that I can no longer do that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next, I see we have a Massey case. Case A of the Massey cases is CE 17-002812. Respondent is E.N.R. Waxler. The property is 690 McGlenross Drive, Oviedo, Florida, 32765. Parcel number is 404-21-531-500-0080. This is a Massey hearing, so what, Mr. Orioles, are you going to be presenting?
I will, sir.
In fact, would you raise your right hand? I'm going to swear you in for this and for the next case simultaneously,
Okay.
which is the U.S. Bank case. Do you solemnly affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, what do we have on Mr. Waxler? I have a copy of my prior order.
Okay. I was going to present that to Your Honor, but if you have a copy of it, you won't need it. I will, however, present to you some pictures I took on the compliance date. Your Honor wanted the, well, you know what, let me just give you the whole packet.
Okay, this was an exterior door.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the case, there was many more items at first, but what it boiled down to was the exterior door. If I may approach the bench
Yes,
and give you
please.
11 pages.
Go ahead, Mr. Orioles. All right, and I will accept this into evidence as the city's composite exhibit in this case. All right, go ahead.
The first four items is the copies of Your Honor's finding of fact, inclusion, law of order, the certified mail receipt, and the green card that was signed by Mr. Waxler. The next item is my affidavit of noncompliance, that on the date specified, 4/24, the door was changed, basically, but if you look at the pictures, the four pictures that are there, the door was basically held in by shims. It had not been completed. And at the time, I filled out an affidavit of noncompliance and assumed, which I shouldn't have done probably, that it was going to continue to be in that condition for a while. However, I went back on in April 30th, and found that the job had been completed. The respondent lives in Los Angeles. There were some weather issues, and I do understand that living in Los Angeles and having work done in Florida can entail some time constraints. So I'm not as upset over the couple of days that he was in noncompliance as I normally would be. But on April the 30th, I have a affidavit of compliance that the door was installed properly, all the fascia was put on, all the trimming was done, and the job was complete.
And what does the city want to do on this one?
Because it was only really in noncompliance and partially in noncompliance, maybe for 6 days, I would ask Your Honor to, our goal of compliance was met, and I see no real interest in the city in fining the gentleman for a few days it was not in compliance.
All right. I hereby waive any fines, and I'll dismiss this case.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Then the next case, which you've already been sworn, is case CE, and this is a code compliance case,
Yes,
case CE 17-002385. Respondent is U.S. Bank, care of Select Portfolio Servicing, Inc. The property is 123 East High Street, Oviedo, Florida, 32765. Parcel ID is 15-21-521-50000-0080. And I did enter an order in this one back, I think, actually I entered a Massey order on this one on March 22.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you have for us?
I have 5 pages for Your Honor, if you'd like.
Yes, thank
May I
you.
have my approach?
Right, these 5 pages will be received into evidence. That's the city's exhibit. I do not see anyone present today to speak to this. Just for the record, both on this and the last case, there was no one to speak to either case. So what do you have for us on this one?
Your order on March 22nd specified that it was a two-part order. You assessed a fine of
$6,400.
$6,400, which was to be paid and has not been paid, and then $100 a day, commencing that day, until the rest of the violations are brought into compliance. Basically, it was the roof and the soffit. Not the roof, I'm sorry. The roof soffit that was in noncompliance. We've been in contact with attorneys, with realtors, with customers, with everything about this property, everyone arguing the fact and everything else, but no one had done anything until I went by on April 24th. I drove by the residence and observed that the repairs to the roof had been completed with a valid building permit. And at that time, I filed a an affidavit, of compliance, as Your Honor can see, and we stopped the fine running, the request for fine running at that point. It amounted to an extra 34 days at $100 a day. So the total would then be $9,800 of the $6,400 plus the $3,400. The representative or the lawyer, the attorney, and the realtor who identify themselves as representatives of the bank have been made aware of these amounts, have been made aware of today's hearing, and they still think that they're going to get the amounts just waived. And
why do you think it's so hard to get their attention, Mr. Orioles?
I wish I knew. We have this problem with virtually every bank we deal with. There's a few banks that do, seems like try to be cooperative, but others just absolutely ignore us. I feel like, Your Honor, the problem is that they know in their heart that they will come before the City Commission and get this fine reduced. And I think they feel like that they don't have to do anything because $9,800 will become $980 or $1,000 or $1,200. And to a big bank that's probably got billions of dollars, that's chicken feed to them.
Because I want to look at something here. As I recall, as of March 22, there was still stagnant water in the pool. Has that been corrected?
Yes, sir, it was correct. There's been electricity on in the house, and there was a pool contractor there. I can't get in the backyard anymore because most of the repairs have been made. The fence is all fixed and everything. But I'm pretty certain the pool pump has been running.
So they're fully in compliance as of April 24.
Yes, sir.
Do you know when they actually came into compliance?
No, sir, I do not. They did not notify us at all. It just I happened to be driving by and noticed that the soffit had been repaired, and I had noticed previous to that the pool was completely drained, and there was a pool contractor working on the pool. He advised me they were going to fill it with water, and they were going to run the pump.
And that was on April 24?
That was before April 20th. The pool was before April 24th. It was probably April 18th, 19th. And then the roof I noticed on the 24th. But there was no roofers on the roof. There was nobody doing repairs on the roof when I saw the pool contractor there.
Well, because they have come into compliance and because we don't know the exact date they came in compliance, the pool was really my major concern.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to waive the fines after, what was the date of compliance was what?
April 24th.
I'm going to waive any fines after April 24th, but the fine of $6,400 still remains to be paid, and my order will provide that that's not paid within 30 days, then the city is authorized to file a lien.
Yes, sir.
It may already be, but I'll make that very clear on this property.
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else on this one?
No, sir.
Any other items to come before us today?
No, sir.
All right. Anyone else have anything to come before us today? All right. This session of the special magistrate is adjourned.